now.
Go ahead.
Somebody asked, is it good to have coffee to release the stress?
Usually it can be considered fine if it is 1 or 2 or 3 coffee per day. But usually it affects your digestive system. It reduces your digestive juice. So you may have other issues like indigestion, lack of appetite, sleeplessness issues. But your work stress is as such that you have to take.
Okay.
1 or 2 cup of coffee per day can be accepted if you are logically or fine, physically fine.
Some people do smoke to release the stress. So how is that?
We have a coping skill, but ultimately tobacco is a nerve stimulant followed by deeper depressant. Even though it will give you a short-term stimulus for about 1 hour or so, but it will make you lethargic for the next 4 hours. It depends on us what for that particular short duration you want to use. It's your wish, but not advisable. So we are taking a substance from outside as an agent to stimulate our nervous system. Usually not recommended, but more than 37 to 50%.
But generally, I'm saying most of the people to release the stress.
Statistical data says that more than 37 to 50% of people, male, smokes.
Smoke. That's what.
Female ratio is less in India, less than 10%.
Every day in the papers we see like different news about one day they say coffee, tea, actually drinking coffee and tea is good for health because it has effects on our heart and other things. So every day it's a contradicting news, so we do get confused as to whether it is actually good or not, even related to other substances like I think recently something came out on even whiskey, I think, that it is good. I don't know. So
it ultimately depends on food lobbies. If I am the owner of whiskey brew company, I would like to promote some research. You can say sensible research and nonsense research. Nonsense research is, in general, whatever you see, statistically taking a point. They say red wine is good for your heart. Common notion people have. For this red wine to have a good effect on the heart, you have to drink at least 5 liters per day. They go a little more detail on saying how, to what extent you can use this. For you to have this good effect, artery clearance at the level of coronary arteries, you have to take this much. For you to take this much, what other harms it will have, they won't mention. So those will come under nonsense research. Research is there, but not very. Some food lobbies from West America, they suggest more of soya proteins. Soya proteins, they say. Coconut oil is not good for you. Suggest there are many researches. But Indian authentic research shows that coconut oil is good. Ghee is good. It's like avoid ghee, take more of soya. It's a Western concept. So usually they have a reductionist approach. Okay, tell me this one particular factor which is helpful, but that is usually doesn't work for Indian population. Indian population, even though in marketing somebody was saying release some product, West usually thinks 100 times more to think about the consumers in India. Indian consumer mindset is absolutely different. If you say vada pav related things will go well, but no other things. Just an conjunction, an example. Small picture showing what obesity. There are 3 varieties of usual way of fat accumulation. You don't compare with each other. See them, just keep it in mind. Oh, this person is like this, you don't say it. I know you are saying at the back of your mind. Usually male shoulder will be broad and pelvis will be small. And female pelvis will be broad and shoulders will be small. So usual way of fat accumulation in men is around abdomen. It is called as android obesity or apple shaped obesity. If you see an apple, compare that apple with the stomach. So that is much more dangerous than a pear shaped obesity. Pear shaped obesity is like a pear fruit. More obesity around abdomen, legs, thighs. So there is already food there. So there is one research published. They say that two group of people, some 3,000 people who are thin and not doing regular physical activity, and 3,000 people who are fat and doing physical activities. So they observed for about, I think, 5 years. They come to a conclusion that the people who are fat and doing regular physical activity had less chances of heart attacks compared to thin people who are not doing any physical activity. So very interesting research. It says that accept your body and work on it. So there are three varieties of body. We call endomorph, ectomorph and mesomorph. Mesomorph are the people who are very muscular, muscles, bulky muscles. Our body structure can be like this. Some people are very chubby, they are endomorph. Some people are skinny, they are ectomorph. Morphologically they are like this. Our body shape usually it will be like this. Endomorph person cannot think of becoming ectomorph. Bulk of a person, now thin and ectomorph person wants to build the muscles. Usually can be done by a regular workup, not to the extent of mesomorph. Okay, this will it's all Western diet. In a simple one word, one sentence, you can increase alkaline diet and reduce acidic diet. Simple. You just go through what it is. Reduce acidic diet. Coffee is an acidic diet. Coke is an acidic diet. Cake is an acidic diet. Burger is an acidic diet. Which increases, which will take you away from the natural mechanism of work, where your stomach and liver has to work too much to digest that particular thing. Alcohol is an acidic food. So more of alkaline towards better. It's better. Example. All vegetables comes under alkaline, fruits comes under alkaline. Broccoli usually have a more alkaline content, 9 to 10 deci. Avocado 9 to 10 alkaline pH. So it's far better than normal vegetables. Something like this. Go through them. So any of last questions?
Are there any something like we have these multivitamin tablets and all? Are there any pills or tonics which help to balance the pH levels in the body?
There are, but it depends on your ultimately diet. What you take. Pill can be one pill per day. It will not be sufficient enough for covering 24 hours of.
But there are pills like alkaline pills or something.
Food supplements.
Improving the alkaline levels.
Spirulina is one which they usually use. Spirulina capsules.
Yeah.
But in association with proper diet, yes. Without proper diet, I want to take throughout the day. I want to take acidic diet, and I want to take one day one pill. It's in combination, incorporation of integration of proper diet and pill can be possible. So I'll teach you quickly some 3 techniques which you can use it in your workplace. You ready?
Yes.
First one, I use breathing technique. Whenever you are very upset or angry, your breathing will be fast, irregular, erratic. Agree with me? If you are very calm, your breathing will be regular. So there is a definite correlation of emotions and the breathing. So I use a combination of technique using this particular level of body. I work on pranamaya question. I want to increase prana. What is this prana? I want to increase medically lung volume by regularizing the breathing. So increasing in lung volume is an additional resource of your body. As I said previously, S is equal to more P and less R. Stress is equal to more pressure and less resources. I want to increase one of the resources of your body, that is oxygen. When you have yawning, it means that either food is more in the stomach, where your blood is getting circulated around the stomach to digest that food, or you're not interested. It has both the components of physical or psychological. It also says that as subconscious mind, our oxygen is lacking somewhere to do some work in our body. So usually I use a technique called as 4-4-4 breathing technique. Shall we do it? It's a small one. You can please, you're all 10 and keep it aside. And came with the mind that it will be for 3 hours. People informed me 2 to 5 is a workshop. I prepared too much things and then came. So we'll do more of practical sessions and you ask more questions related to yourself. I use a combination of mudras, yoga mudras. Yoga mudra usually I use with the correlation of medical science saying that number of receptors are maximum in your hand compared to any part of your body. So number of receptors are maximum compared to any part of your body. So they say receptor of touch, receptor of pain, receptor of deep prick, receptor of cold, receptor of hot sensation, receptor of proprioception. So even if I close my eyes and move my finger, I can know exactly, my brain knows that where is my finger moving. Okay. So number of receptors are maximum in hand compared to any part of your body. Second highest are at the level of mouth and lips. That's why there is importance for
Taste.
number of receptors. There's a fill in the blanks. You'll be able to remember this forever. Number of receptors are maximum in hand compared to any part of your body. So if you feel a touch of your beloved, feel that comfort. If you feel the touch of your mother, you feel that. Really. Do you? Yes. So second highest number of receptor at the level of mouth, lips and tongue. Anything strikes your mind? Kiss? Kiss? If somebody kisses, they'll not kiss like this, elbow to elbow. More number of receptors, second highest at the level of lips. So if it is a passionate love, sharing of a kiss, it will be highly pleasurable. If it is an unconditional love of a mother to a child, it will also be pleasurable for the child and mother both, because it releases number of hormones which are happy hormones, which makes you feel happy, and reward centers of your brain will be activated. With this context, I use a mudras. Thumbs like this. Thumbs up. So this part of the brain, this part of the thumb has a maximum area covered in your brain. We call motor homunculus. When you go back to your respective seats, just type MOTOR, motor homunculus. HOMO in CULS. Motor homunculus says that number of receptors here are maximum. So I use some mudra related to this. Thumbs up. Hold your hands like this. Cover the 4 fingers. If somebody is very angry and aggressive, keep this very tight. So you are deviating your mind from something, situation to something neutral area. Release your lower 4 fingers. Cover your knuckle area. Thumb touching the middle finger. Twist your hand. Keep it on your chest. Shankha mudra. Shankha mudra. Shankha. It looks like a conch. Seashell.
Seashell.
Seashell. It's a tongue twister for me. Seashell.
He said seashell.
Okay. It's a small challenge for you. Keeping this in front of your chest, I want your mind to focus on 4-4-4. 4 seconds breathing in, 4 seconds holding the breath, 4 seconds exhalation. Keeping your eyes closed, you are going to do this. 4-4-4, I considered it as a 1. So we'll do 5 counts of breathing. One challenge in this is, if you are doing this breathing technique right, you will not be having any thoughts of anything, because your mind will be cheated to think of 4 seconds breathing in, 4 seconds holding the breath, 4 seconds exhalation. You're okay? Close your eyes. Breathe in 4 seconds. Hold. Feel your heartbeat also. Breathe out. Let it be gentle. Feel. Actually, you feel. We'll have fun later. I promise. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Your entire attention focused on breathing in. Holding and breathing out. Breathing in. Hold. Breathe out. more time. Breathing in. You're on camera. Hold. Breathe out. Slowly release. Release. Be normal. Could you feel anything? Could you notice that when you are doing this technique, your mind is so much occupied of breathing in, holding, breathing out, that it is not able to think anything. So, one easy technique, how to control mind. So this one easy technique I usually try to use in combination. 4-4-4 breathing technique. There's one small research activities we are taking on this. Headache, sleeplessness and epilepsy. So using this particular technique. 4-4-4 breathing technique with the Shankamudra. So I usually prescribe like a medicine. 4-4-4 breathing technique plus Shankamudra. 20 times morning, 20 times evening for first 1 month. So second month, you're okay with this? Second month, 6 seconds breathing in, 4 seconds holding the breath, 6 seconds exhalation. 20 times morning, 20 times evening. Next month, 20 times means 1 time means breathing in, hold, breathing out is 1. Third month onwards, 6 seconds breathing in, 6 seconds holding the breath, 6 seconds exhalation. Continue for maybe 3 to 5 months. So what you are increasing the oxygen capacity of your body. Increasing inhalation lung volume means amount of breath you take in. For example, if everybody's evaluation is done, the person who is very much athletic can come up to 320 ml of air you breathe in. For ladies, it may come up to 280, 260. 260 at this point of time. So later, after 3 months, if you compare, if from 260 to if it has increased to 280, there is a 20 ml of extra oxygen available for your body to cope up. Is it nice? So is there any pill which is going to do this? Usually no. There is no pill which can increase your oxygen capacity of your lung. It's an individualized workup where you either work through an athletic performance or you can, it's a lazy technique I call it. It's lazy technique to work on the lung volume simply by breathing in, holding, breathing out, what I mentioned. Is it okay with you?
Can you show that again?
Thumbs up.
So does it matter left hand, right hand?
Nothing, it doesn't matter. Thumbs up. Hold. Release your lower four fingers or your knuckle area. Hold it in front of your chest. So nothing much. If somebody doesn't believe in this mudra, so I'll just say that I am using some gesture to deviate your mind, to make it feel something, some tingling sensation you feel around your thumb. To feel it, I will deviate your mind. So smoking is also a deviation of the mind. It's negative. It has its negative impact. You can use something which is positive. Okay. Any question for this you can ask.
You say headache, right? Every headache goes with this, or there can be some medical reason or something for headaches?
Medical reasons, there are many medical reasons. Usually they say 70% of headache are tension headache. TTT will say. Tension type headache.
How about migraine?
Migraine.
Migraine.
For example, I have a migraine.
Usually,
sometimes.
migraine people will have a migraine personality where they'll be taking too much. If they are working something, they'll get involved so much completely. If they are doing some little activity, they get involved too much. Is it right?
Very true.
So you can ignore, but you can increase their coping skills. That's all. So it means that they are a bit of perfectionist people. They want to get the things right. So what you are doing? You are increasing the sympathetic activity more. More sympathetic activity, there is a release of some chemicals called as prostaglandins and Levy's P factors, which will make the blood vessels dilated. Blood vessels dilated at the level of your brain or extracranial, outside the skull and inside the skull. Let's say intracranial blood vessels and extracranial blood vessels. There will be dilatation of blood vessels. Dilatation of blood vessels cause a headache. When you have a headache, what you do? You tie something. You want to compress the veins. Then there is a relief. Medicines, what do you prescribe? Vasograin and headset or whatever medicine? Headset, say.
Right.
We prescribe is mainly for constricting the blood vessels and blocking the pain sensation which is going from the blood vessels to the brain. It is not taking off the cause, it is taking off the symptom. There are some medications we use for a long term, maybe 3 months. If somebody is having migraine, we will use Cybelium 5 mg, 10 mg, LUL 10 mg, headset or Ultracet, whatever, many medicines we use.
But that increases drowsiness, right?
Drowsiness. It has its own-
But Ultracet is basically for the pain which is to subsidize, right? Like, you know, where if a person is having a more pain, so he goes with that Ultracet.
Is it interesting?
Yes.
When we say somebody is having headache, what we give tablet is after we get the disease. What we are trying to do now is, if you are already having the disease, to control it with more of natural resources and then taper the medications and then stop probably.
Now, migraine is stress related or it's a medical disorder?
It's both. Genetically, if you are predisposed to have this genetic susceptibility with the external stimulus, nurture and nature. How many of you have migraine?
I had.
So I'll teach one more technique. You heard of Shakuntala Dushyanta story?
Yes.
Okay. Sitting like a Shakuntala is called as Shakuntala Asana. It's for migraine people. Like this. Shakuntala waiting for Dushyanta Maharaja at the bank of a particular river, which I don't remember. No medical reasons. This sitting style is called as Shakuntala Asana. Let us do it. If you see, I cannot.
Here also.
Sitting like this is called as Shakuntala Asana.
No, do we have to cover the ear?
I'll tell you. Medical reason, head weight, somebody might be having more head weight. Normal head weight of the body is around 4.5 to 5 kg, including 1.5 kg of brain. So you are putting off that particular head weight, that ego head weight, you can take it off. This head weight, you are keeping it on your hands, and weight is being transmitted from this to elbows. So your neck muscles will be relaxed. After this, I use a technique called as resonance bringing relaxation. So resonation, you have studied in physics, take a tuning fork in the infinite and sound resonance. So I use the body as a resonating machine to bring relaxation. Relaxation is nothing but stimulating the other part of the nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system, deeply. So here you are using vibration of the sound. Sit like this. With your index finger, close your ears. You can see me first and then. With your little finger, close your eyes.
Sorry?
First,
We close this.
With this, close your ears. With this, close your eyes. And breathing in, breathing out, I use the sound of sound. More resonance I want to create at the level of head. So then it goes into scientific progress, saying that om. Kara has a more resonance at the level of diaphragm. Who has a more resonance at the level of chest. If you keep your hand on somebody's back and they are talking, you can feel the vibrations of that. So more vibration at the level of chest, and more vibration at the level of head. In this context, I use this technique. The 15 to 20 times, if you do this, the headache will reduce at least by 40 to 60%.
From day one.
From day one, with or without headache.
What's the guarantee?
So what I mean is, with or without headache, you need to practice, keep practicing.
15 minutes.
You can look at my eyes now. I'll do 3 times. My eyes look swollen and sleepy. That is simplest, fastest reason we can see that okay, it has its effect at the level of blood vessel constriction. So that's a treatment for headache usually, medically. And take a deep breath in. Does my eyes look sleepy? Why?
Yes.
Totally. So I will suggest 15 to 20 times whenever you are having severe headache. This can be done even in your working place also.
So it gives a relaxation. You're not going to sleep.
So if you need
15 to 20 minutes, we'll book a conference.
Recording, I will be uploading this. Okay. So it's very interesting. If somebody is having severe headache, can try this doing at least 10 times. Intensity of headache will reduce for sure. Other things you are already having, you are having headset or some other tablets with you, you can take that. But in addition to that, not.
No, I'm saying without any kind of